Imagine a world where the stories in books, the letters from friends, and the signs on the street are hidden from you. This was the reality for many people who were blind or had low vision. But then, a young boy with a brilliant idea came along and changed everything. His name was Louis Braille, and he was born in France in 1809. As a small child, Louis had an accident in his father's workshop that caused him to lose his sight. He was a very bright and curious boy, and he wanted to learn to read and write just like everyone else. He was determined not to let his blindness stop him from discovering the world of knowledge. When Louis was 10 years old, he earned a scholarship to the Royal Institute for Blind Youth in Paris. There he learned to read using large raised letters that were pressed into paper. This system was slow and difficult to use. The inspiration for his amazing invention came from a surprising place, the military. A French army captain named Charles Barbier visited the school to share a system he had created called night writing. It was a code of raised dots and dashes that allowed soldiers to read messages in the dark. The system used 12 dots to represent sounds, not letters. While clever, it was too complicated for fingertips to read quickly. Louis saw the potential. He worked to simplify the system into a small, compact cell that could be felt with a single fingertip. He spent countless hours punching patterns of dots into paper with a tool called a stylus. By age 15, he had perfected a revolutionary code based on a simple 6-dot cell. He opened a door for millions. Independence, literacy, and a universe of stories waiting to be read. So what is this amazing code that Louis Braille created? It all begins with something called the Braille cell. Think of it like a tiny rectangle about the size of a fingertip that contains 6 dots arranged in 2 columns of 3. The top left dot is number 1, the one below it is 2, and the bottom left is 3. On the right side, top to bottom are dots 4, 5, and 6. Every letter, number, and punctuation mark is created by raising one or more of these 6 dots. It's like a secret code that you read with your hands. Let's look at how it works. To make the letter A, you simply raise dot number 1. For the letter B, you raise dots 1 and 2. The letter C is made with dots 1 and 4. Do you see the pattern? Each letter has its own special arrangement of dots. When you run your fingers over a line of Braille, you are feeling these different combinations. Your mind learns to recognize them as letters, just like your eyes recognize printed shapes. Numbers are formed in a special way, using a numeric indicator. This symbol is dots 3, 4, 5, and 6. After that, AJ represent 1, 0. There are unique combinations for punctuation like periods, commas, and question marks. Even musical notes, math notation, and scientific formulas can be expressed in Braille. From storybooks to chemistry textbooks, the 6-dot cell adapts to represent almost any written information. Just as we learned simple words before complex sentences, Braille has different levels. These levels help readers become more efficient. The first level is uncontracted, or grade 1. In grade 1, every single letter of a word is spelled out dot by dot. For example, the word friend is written using each letter's Braille cell, F-R-I-E-N-D. This one-to-one correspondence is straightforward, perfect for beginners and children. But grade 1 can take up a lot of space. Books become large and bulky. It can also be slower to read, so a more advanced system was developed. Grade 2. Contracted Braille, or grade 2, is the most common form used by experienced readers. Think of it as a system of shortcuts or abbreviations. It uses contractions to represent common words or groups of letters. There are nearly 200 contractions, shortcuts that speed reading. For instance, the word "the" can be a single Braille cell. The word "and" also has a 1-cell symbol. Common letter pairs like sich, esh, and ing are shortened to single cells to save space and speed reading. This makes books smaller and lets skilled readers read as quickly as sighted readers. Learning grade 2 takes practice, but the payoff is huge. It opens up newspapers, magazines, novels, and textbooks in a manageable format. For many years, creating Braille was a slow, hands-on process. Writers used a slate and stylus or a mechanical Braille writer that worked like a typewriter. It was slow, but it made writing possible. Today, technology has transformed how Braille is made and read. One key tool is the Braille embosser. Think of it as a printer for Braille. You connect it to a computer and it punches raised dots onto thick paper. Digital documents are translated into Braille by software, which then sends the file to the embosser. Embossers enable faster production of books, school materials, and personal documents. Hard copy Braille remains vital for deep reading and for young learners. It's important for studying and learning letter shapes with fingertips. embossers produce the permanent materials students rely on. But when you need information instantly, refreshable Braille displays are transformative. They connect to phones, tablets, and computers. Rows of tiny pins move up and down to form Braille characters line by line. As you read across, the pins update with the next line from the screen. This allows people to read digital info without printing. They can browse the internet, send messages, and read ebooks in Braille. Many devices are small and portable, like carrying a library in your backpack. Technology has made Braille more accessible than Louis Braille ever imagined. Embossers and refreshable displays meet different needs, permanent materials versus dynamic information. In a world filled with audiobooks and screen readers, is Braille still necessary? The answer is a resounding yes. Braille literacy is about much more than listening. It's the key to true literacy. When you read with Braille, you learn spelling, grammar, and punctuation, the structure of language. You understand where paragraphs begin and how sentences form. This foundation supports strong writing and communication skills. Braille proficiency links to higher education and employment outcomes. In class, a student with Braille can read their own textbook, take their own notes, and complete assignments independently. At work, Braille users can read reports, label files, and participate in meetings using their notes. But there are still challenges. Availability of materials is limited. Only a small percentage of printed books become available in Braille. Readers often wait for books to be transcribed or have fewer options. We must advocate for access to qualified teachers and materials. Despite hurdles, Braille empowers confidence and competence. It gives people the same opportunities as everyone else: education, work, and participation. Once you start looking for it, you might be surprised how often Braille appears. It's a quiet but constant presence designed for accessibility. You'll find it on signs, products, and everyday objects. One common place is on public signs, restrooms, doors, and room numbers. Restroom signs often include Braille. Elevator buttons and hotel room plates do too, small details that matter. Braille also appears on medicine packaging and household products. Many pharmaceutical companies include Braille on prescription bottles for safety. This simple feature helps people manage medication independently. Appliance controls and dials sometimes use tactile markers. They make everyday tasks more accessible. ATMs commonly have a tactile dot on the number 5 to orient users. Even board games and playing cards can include Braille, making leisure activities inclusive. These small details make a big difference in daily life. Books remain a central use for Braille. Libraries for the blind hold collections from classics to bestsellers. Print and Braille books let blind and sighted family members share reading time. Modern tech continues to integrate Braille, refreshable displays, smartwatches with tactile outputs, and assistive devices. Some smartwatches provide Braille notifications. Specialized devices can output Braille to identify colors or currency, expanding independence. The world is home to a vast, diverse community of people with visual impairments. About 285 million people worldwide have visual impairments. No single solution fits everyone. People use combinations of tools. Braille is one of the most powerful tools in that toolbox. It complements screen readers, magnification, audiobooks, and mobility aids. These technologies are partners, not replacements. Designers and engineers are expanding Braille's reach with new tactile displays. Full-page Braille displays and tactile graphics are becoming real. Tactile graphics let users explore charts and diagrams by touch. Affordable portable embossers and displays expand access in classrooms. True accessibility means providing options. A user may scan emails with a screen reader, then switch to Braille for deep reading. Ultimately, Braille is a story of empowerment. It began with one boy's refusal to be left in the dark, and grew into a universal system unlocking literacy for millions. While technology evolves, the value of Braille remains constant. It provides a direct connection to the written word, and fosters independence, education, opportunity, and belonging. A great idea can change the world, one dot at a time. The journey of reading is a gift. Braille helps make it accessible to all. If you found this helpful, like, subscribe, and share to spread awareness about Braille literacy.